Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Gungan Stroats, Kiadaboon Deconets, and all of you fish people out there that have a connection with the Force. I know it's probably a small demographic out there, but today we got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. The Zuck is here in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. We have the K reveal. Holy cow, the bounty hunters look like they're gonna have so much fun. But you know what's even more fun? Funny is maybe the word I'm looking for. Check this out. The developers are finally adding a special event for Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. It almost took a year. Almost a year. But people have been asking for, hey, can we have an exclusive event for Ahsoka like Jabba got one, Leia got one, and now Hondo. People are mad with Hondo. Like, what gives? They are finally delivering, and I will say this appeals way more to me than Galactic Legend Hondo. And stick around towards the end of the video after we do all the kit reveal stuff. If you've ever wanted to be kind of early on in the process and see how do you get to a final kit like this, stay tuned. We're going to talk a bit more about it, but we're going to start going into the early stages of developing the kits for the first 3 characters of the game I'm making, Chrono CM. So there's a link down below, card in the top right hand corner, to subscribe to the 258 Games channel. We'll talk more about that towards the end. But what I want to talk about first, oh man, is Ahsoka Tano, you 48,000 people that have her, and the spooky ghouls just wanna have fun. Yeah, what do you think, Gary? You think that's pretty scary? Wait, what? You think you have something scarier? What do you mean? Shout out to DC Dark Legion for sponsoring this segment. This Halloween, it's time to face your fears and command your favorite DC champions. DC Dark Legion has unleashed an all-new Halloween event featuring death metal Wonder Woman and some of the darkest challenges yet. And Halloween brings out that inner strategist in all of us. Limited resources, terrifying conditions, and every decision matters. So fight the fright, save the night, and prove you have what it takes to survive the dark multiverse. DC Dark Legion is an official strategy game where you build your ultimate team from over 60 DC superheroes and supervillains. The Halloween Dark Requiem event brings in exclusive missions. You also manage your own Batcave, upgrade resources, and jump into a massive global PvP battles to prove your strategy reigns supreme. So this Halloween, download DC Dark Legion on mobile or PC and join the chaos for FREE free. Use my code Halloween25 for exclusive in-game rewards and build your own army of nightmares. Scan the QR code right there and join the DC Dark Legion Creator Program for even more exclusive perks. So folks, we've been asking for this for a long time, and I never bought into the Peridia Patrol is technically for Ahsoka. No, it's not. Peridia Patrol was not for Ahsoka. And this proves I'm yet again right. I don't think I've ever been wrong in my life, Gary. I don't think I've ever messed up a counter. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever even lost a banner in Grand Arena Territory Wars. It's tough being a video game director. What can I say? But anywho, this is basically kind of saying that, yeah, we probably should have had something for Galactic Legend Ahsoka. So check it out. I hope they actually call it Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun, but it's unfortunate. I think it's called Coven of Shadows. Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun would have been so much better. So Dark Whisper stirs across the galaxy as a Coven of Shadows event emerges. Face the vengeful Morgan Elsbeth, her relentless Chip of Peridia, and legions of Night Troopers at a new limited time event that will test the strength of your newest heroes. The word new might not mean the same to you, CG, as it might mean to us. New-ish. I'll say new-ish. All right, I'll cut you a little bit of slack on that one. Event overview. The Coven of Shadow events features 3 escalating tiers, difficulty and rewards. You'll need to call upon Padawan Sabine, Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, and this is the key difference from something like, let's say, the Peridia Patrol versus something like Hondo's Smuggler's Run. You specifically need Ahsoka, therefore the event requires Ahsoka. Peridia Patrol did not cut that requirement for me. To confront the darkness surrounding Peridia, players will be able to sim future runs. Yeah. Here are the requirements and rewards. So you're going to borrow Ezra Bridger, so cool. And it's kind of like you're almost doing the inverse of Peridia Patrol, right? Instead of, you using the Night Troopers to fight Ezra, it's kind of like flipped around a little bit here. You're requiring
Padawan Sabine, any investment, well, yes, but what's actually required to beat the event is a whole different thing that will, unfortunately, my Sabine is like relegate, so it's gonna be kind of hard to find that minimum investment. Now, maybe I'll try to my free-to-play account, I don't know. And then your enemies are Morgan, Elsbeth, Night Trooper. All right, here's your reward that you're gonna end up getting. Well, you got Padawan Sabine, Hu Yang, General Syndulla. So this is kind of, again, it kind of reflects more of an assault battle, right? Is the way I'm kind of looking at this. Some credits on top of it too. Tier 2, now you require Padawan Sabine at 7 stars. You're gonna get Ezra, same enemies, right? They up the ante a little bit here. And now we get Cairo Tech and more shards of Hu Yang or General Syndulla. And then the part that actually, well, requires Ahsoka herself. Galactic Legend Ahsoka required at Relic 9. Well, let's take a look here. The good news is, where's the Relic 9 thing? About half of people who have Galactic Legend Ahsoka have her at Relic 9. I suppose that's, Gary, where did you go? No, Gary, you're being an idiot right now. About half people have Relic 9 on that top part, almost 24,000. So I guess that's the good thing. And then the next bunch at Relegate. So the good news is that people already who have Ahsoka already kind of making decent progress towards it. Okay, but I wouldn't have expected anything less. Now Relic 9 is it's gonna be a lot more important, I think, especially as we move into Relic Delta. They were complaining about people weren't doing enough Relic 9s. Well, this is one way of doing it, kind of, dropping some carrots for you to eat up here, right? And then Relic Delta's the stick. Now, you get some signal data's cool, and this is where things get nice. Zimbital cards, Impulse Detectors, AR Magnifiers. To be clear, it's only one of the following pieces, and then one of the following relic materials, the Gurja Keypad and Droid Brains. Now, it's going to be starting on October 31st. Only those bold enough to face the darkness will claim its reward. So this upcoming Friday. And their plan is to have it come back once a month. Forever? For a limited time? I don't know. But for me, if this is a permanent event forever, once a month, to me, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, there are mods associated with Hondo. Yeah. For the future of Galaxies, especially in the world of Relic Delta, that's going to be happening here sometime the next, couple months, I'm assuming, here before the end of the year hits. This, to me, is a lot more valuable than Galactic Legend Hondo. I am going to need Gurja Keypads, Droid Brains, Relic materials moving forward. I'm in a good spot for mods, but I do understand not everyone is, especially if you're newer. I've been on the mod train since it came out, 2017, whatever mods first happened, 2016. Losing track of time around here. So I'm in a good spot for mods, but for a lot of people, maybe you're not. But I think overall for everybody, we all need Relic materials out there, unless you're out there buying those $200 Relic packs. You might be in a different spot then. So overall, took a long time. I'm glad that they finally heard the feedback. It took almost a year. It's nice that Ahsoka's now filling that trend that kind of got broken up for a little bit, where all the recent Galactic Legends have had some sort of additional event, and this to me is a lot more interesting than Galactic Legend Hondo. So that's part 1 of our video today. Let's move on to part 2 of 3. Zuck. The Zuck is here in Galaxy of Heroes. Forlom, I've been a big fan of Forlom, been having a lot of fun. Obviously not parting the seas, but I'm already seeing how Forlom's making the current bounty hunters a lot more manageable for maybe beating things like Gungans. Okay, it'd be nice not having to use a bow, Treya, getting finicky with some other things, or using a Luthen with the Rebel fighters. I think this is going to take it to the next level. However, it seems like they don't want Bosk on this team. I don't know. To be fair, I said the same thing about Forlom replacing Grief, but I've been using Grief still with Forlom. But anyways, let's check it out. Tank, leader, bounty hunter, scoundrel, unaligned force user. It's more of a lore reference to unaligned force user, although we do have force connection capabilities in this kit. And I'm going to get ahead of the thing where Zuck is going to be nice for Afra. Just like Forlom could be used of Afra. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe there's something there, but it's definitely more geared towards bounty hunters. I was really hoping the Zuck and Forlom would be used specifically for Afra. You can definitely tell the intention is for bounty hunters, but it doesn't mean you can't use it with the Afro. You're just not going to get the full package, right? Anyways, let's move on down. My friends, how do you get the Zuck? Next Tuesday, November 4th. Man, it's already November, man. Jeez. And then let's get to the kit. Another thing to point out. If you are going all in at a marquee event, it's important the last tier requires both Zuck as well as Forlom at Relic 5. Now, let's get to the heart of Zuckuss here. Foreseen Strike. Deal physical damage to target enemy, recover 10% protection. And if the Zuck had Foresight and he attacks again, Foresight's going to be a big part of this kit. I'm wondering if they want, it seems like they want him to be the lead for the new bounty hunter era, and that lead you're about to see, it's hard to disagree, but foresight is gonna be very important. Let's just drop a little teaser for that. Ensnaring shot. Here we go. Deal physical damage, stun. I'm telling you, he's taking Bosk's job, man. It feels like Bosk is the one that has the net. Now the Zuck has it. Oh man, so we deal physical damage, stun, inflict action down on target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be evaded, but it can be resisted if the target was already stunned. And as we know with our earlier conversation with the Aura Sing rework, stuns are good for Aura Sing. If the target enemy was already stunned, Zuckuss gains 40% protection up for 2 turns, and the target enemy loses 15%. Terminator. It's gonna get better. We have special 2, Augury of Protection. Oh, protection. Oh yeah. We got lots of that here, and just wait till the lead, all right? Now, how about this? You see it right now. Let's just spoil a little bit. Right of pursuit. Bounty Hunter allies have 80% max protection. Is that the biggest health protection gain on a lead in this game? I think so. I mean, ignoring things that like, amplify mastery and stuff like that, that is big, right? I mean, of course, there's Omicrons or territory battles, and we don't count those. But anyways, Zuckuss dispels all debuffs on himself on Augury of Protection. Taunts for 2 turns. Bounty Hunter allies gain foresight for 2 turns. This is going to be very important. My guess is probably your first move. You need to get all the foresight moving, as we're going to talk about. Zuckuss gains 2 stacks of Force Connection for 3 turns which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. And Zuckuss recovers 30% protection. Just a quick little reminder on what Force Connection does. I definitely did not have to find Kyle Katarn to remind myself. But Force Connection plus 2% defense and offense. I believe, even things like Padawan Sabine, they brought that in as well. So it's a little nod to Zuckuss having some Force user capabilities, right? He's sensitive with the Force, is what I'm trying to say. So a little nod towards that, and getting those extra gains on the stats, not bad. But let's read this. Lot words, more better potentially. Right of pursuit. Bounty Hunter allies have 80% max protection. What do you guys think of that? Whenever a debuff enemy ends their turn, Bounty Hunter allies recover 10% protection, doubled for Zuckuss. Whenever an enemy at foresight evades, Zuckuss gains 10% Terminator, and Bounty Hunter allies gain 5% Terminator. Okay. I mean, foresight's gonna be a big thing, not just for your own Bounty Hunter team, but the enemies too, right? He's gonna kind of play around with this whole foresight capability. And here's where it seems like he does not want to be stepping on Bosk's toes, or let's just put the other round. He doesn't want Bosk stepping on his toes. While Zuckuss is the only tank ally. So sorry, Bosk. Whenever a Bounty Hunter ally with foresight uses special ability, all dark side Bounty Hunter allies with foresight assist. So you could see why. I mean, I guess yeah, I mean, you could have Bosk on a team, but this seems kind of important because it seems like the way I'm reading it, you're going to start off with Special 2, get the Foresight, and then once you get down here, while buffed with Foresight, deal damage to an attack to enemies 20 times. It seems like Bosk is going to be a big detriment to the team if you have him, because you want everyone constantly assisting. It's essentially setting you up for everyone having a swarm attack. Kind of a big deal. So let's just get to that lead. I guess I kind of jumped the gun here a little bit. While Zuckuss is in the leader slot and not in the ally slot, the following contract is active. While buffed to Foresight, deal damage with an attack to enemies 20 times. Now, that seems like it's going to go pretty quick if you play your cards right. You get the team started off on the correct footing. You get the Foresight going. Everyone does a special ability. It's essentially like everyone's got a Bosk swarm attack, if you think about it. Here's your award. All Bounty Hunter allies have their payouts activated, yeah. All Bounty Hunter allies gain 25 speed, 30% offense, and non-tank Bounty Hunter ally stealth for 3 turns. This is nice. I mean, Bosk lead had some speed in it, but this seems nice. It doesn't seem like it's going to be impossible to pull off, or obviously not impossible. It seems like it's going to be too challenging to pull this off here. Only downside is its dark side Bounty Hunter allies are going to get that benefit from the everyone doing a swarm attack. That means Grief Karga, I mean, he has his own swarm attack, so he kind of, I guess, supplements that. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. I think Grief Karga just feels way too important. I know Forlom's got a little overlap there, but I guess we just got to wait and see, test it out ourselves. And then we have Unique 1, Findsman's Intuition. If all allies are bound here at the start of the battle, at the start of each encounter, he taunts for 2 turns. So this is kind of a problem here where I know just as much as any other people out there that was hoping for this, this is going to kind of take away what we were hoping for Afra a dark side scoundrel, preferably a droid, pre-taunting character. Well, that's out the window here. It's gonna pre-taunt only for a full tier bounty hunters. He gets 50% defense. Remember, Force Connection is gonna be nice to throw on top of that. Whenever bounty hunter ally and Foresight evades, Zuckuss gains 10% turn, which is important because you need the Foresight to keep the team moving along, right? Well, if you're losing Foresight, you're losing kind of the core pillar of the team. He's gonna keep trying to get as many turns as possible to, boom, pop up the Foresight again. And he also gets 2 stacks of Force Connection, which can't be copied, spelled, or prevented for 3 turns. While Zuckuss has Force Connection, it's not just a simple stat boost of the 2%, whatever it was that Kyle Katarn told us. He's going to get additional 50% defense, recovers 50% protection at the start of his turn. Yeah, because on the small level of Force Connection, it's not really a lot unless you get a ton of it. Here, he's making more of it. It's kind of like defense up is inherently a pretty unreliable buff to really do much, but things like Bad Batch can make something important out of it. And then it gets even better. At the start of battle, Forlom is an ally. Zuckuss gains 30% potency and tenacity. I'm sure Forlom's gonna love that baby. Now, let's keep moving on here. While in Territory Wars, this actually seems very interesting. I know Territory Wars, oh, it's trash. Okay, yeah, it's trash. But let's go ahead and just read it though. This is interesting to me. If I'm interested in the Territory Omicron, I think it's special. Zuckuss gains 100% max protection until the first time he is defeated, and also gains Bounty Hunter's Resolve. What does that mean? He's going to pull a Boba Fett, come right back from the graveyard. And if all allies were non-galactic legend bounties at the start of battle, whenever taunt is dispelled, Zuckuss is going to taunt for 1 turn. So kind of bringing that thing that made Boss special, the repetitive taunt, when it goes, it just comes back. So kind of nice. Then whenever bounty hunter allies are inflicted with daze, they dispel it and gain speed up for 2 turns. You know, someone might want to bring daze to shut down the turn meter gains. Nuh-uh. Cleanse it. Let's keep moving along here. And then finally, the payout. Zuckuss' payout. Whenever Zuckuss receives rewards from a contract, he also gains the following payout. Here you go. He's going to taunt for 2 turns, and it can't be dispelled. Ooh, baby. Then all bounty hunter allies get another round of Foresight for 2 turns. 15% turn meter on top of it. And check this out. He gets 200% critical avoidance until the end of the battle. My guess is trying to, make things like, for example, Commander Luke, because that was one of the things that kind of pushed the bounty hunters out when you have things like Imperial Troopers, things like Commander Luke, shutting him down, so that could help in that regard, but you got to get the payout. Overall, this seems to be a ton of fun. I need to see, where is this team ultimately going to sit, because right now we have a larger problem in Galaxy of Heroes where these are cool teams, right? I had this conversation the other day on our Grand Arena stream that wrapped up 3v3. I'm like, teams like General Grievous and Staff, it's a cool team, but realistically, the way I put it, the game is about the top 12 teams. It's such a weird way of putting it. Why do I say top 12? Well, because, you have 10 Galactic Legends now. In 5v5 Grand Arena, the real Grand Arena, the thing that's the nicest part about Galaxy of Heroes that I can play, 2 minutes a year, you only have 11 teams on defense, 11 on offense, about 22, right? And of course, you might need a couple extra to work through a cleanup or whatever. So if you take away 10 of those, because that's Galactic Legends are always taking the top shelf, and then you got 12 teams left over, that's a problem. That's an issue that has to be resolved. I'm sure the Zuckuss team's going to be cool, right? But, we'll have to wait and see where we can plug it in. It's like, all right, well, I maybe can beat Gungans, right? Like I've been kind of showing at Forlom. But I have a lot of other teams that I'm not using right now because of this height limitation, right? It's like the ride to get on the roller coaster keeps getting taller and taller and taller, right? So that's kind of the big problem that we're seeing right now. But we'll see. Maybe it's going to be a lot better than just a Gungan counter potentially. So I'm looking forward to it, especially all that Force. I think you're going to churn through all that generator stuff that we got going on. But again, you guys probably have a long list of things that you've been building up for Gungan counts. Great Mothers, Rebel Fighters. Sometimes the Phoenix can get done. Traya, Bo-Katan. So many Grand Arenas lately where I'm done. I'm like, well, look at all these teams I got left over still. So, cool team. I don't know if people are going to go crazy hard in it because there's no air battle that we know of, no special event that we know of, or requirement down the road. But again, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Might not be this era, but maybe something down the road that makes these a bit more explicitly required. So we'll have to wait and see. And then really quick, as we wrap this up, in case you guys don't know, I'm making my own game, right? And although it's not making its first appearance on mobile, right? It's going to have a larger plan if you've been following the journey on the 25/8 Games channel. And, it's always cool seeing the end product of how a kit, this is what you finally see. How do you work up to what the final kit of a character is? Well, last week we added a new technical designer and gameplay designer at 25/8 Games. And I want to share, probably about Friday, the first ideas of the kits that we have for our first 3 characters for Chronos. See, I'm incredibly excited to talk about that, what they're going to do, gesture control, and then kind of lay the groundwork for maybe what we could do for passives, factions. You know, think of it like kind of like, yeah, like I think of your Jedi, your Sith, you know, Rebels, like faction synergies and whatnot. Incredibly excited. So again, even though this might not be, you know, mobile console in its first appearance, you can be here at the early stage to kind of set the spirit of these characters that can translate into the other games down the road. So there's a link down below. Probably left the card in the top right hand corner to go to the 25/8 Games channel. I think later on today I'm gonna have a funny video to share, something super behind the scenes that I don't think any studio would want to show, showing you again how games get made from scratch to the end product that we're familiar with. So hope to see you guys over there. Thank you so much for stopping by. This has been, my friends, you know the drill. This has been Arnold HoloNet News, the only news you'll ever need. Because you have no other choice.
Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.